this is Chris. Today I'm going to work on a to-do. This is something I thought of, I could say earlier in the year, but the year is only 3 days old. So I thought of it late last year as something to do this year. And this is my mother's artwork through the years. And there's all kinds of different, she tried all kinds of different mediums. She took night school classes when I was little at the local high school. She dabbled on her own and she enjoyed it a lot. And what I would like to do is hand this down to the next generation eventually, but not like this. This is too much for them to handle. This is something that they wouldn't know what to do with. They wouldn't know how to store it or where to keep it. So I found this little scrapbook, 8x8 scrapbook on Amazon, and it's Bestorify is the brand name. B-S-T-O-R-I-F-Y, Bestorify, Vital Goods Limited. Made in England, or the company is in England, United Kingdom. It's made in China. They have a website, bestorify.com. I'll put a link to the Amazon below if you're interested in something like this. It's just a little craft paper scrapbook. I'm not sure how many pages. 60 pages. So there's 30 sheets, so 60 pages both sides. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to cut down her artwork. And I'll just have to frame it as best I can to show the best part of it. This was her first oil painting. And this is her first pen and ink drawing. And her first watercolor. I guess she took a class where they explored different medium. And then some more pen and ink and watercolor. And then there's some pictures that she drew of me. So I'll open this up and we'll see if this is going to work. I don't want to scratch it. But I thought this album would be something that her grandchildren and great-grandchildren could look at easily and store easily. And I'll put a little bio of my mother at the front, and they can remember her by that. It has a cute little satin tie on it. And then these are the pages, craft paper pages. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a template that's going to be 7 inches square, and then I can use that template on each image to decide which is the best part to cut and put in the book. I'm also going to try and put them in order by date, if she dated them. She usually did, but if she didn't, then I'll just have to guess by the style and what she was doing at that time. So I'm going to go through this and take out these images and stack them up, and then I'm going to take this piece of 28-pound paper and I'm going to cut a 7-inch hole in the middle, and that'll be my mat to show me where to trim the artwork. Okay. So what I can do, I'll do this off camera, but I'll go through each image. And it's square, so it doesn't matter whether I try to do it horizontal or vertical. And I'll just try to pick out the best composition. So I'll do something like that. This one's going to be harder. First ink drawing. I could scan it and reduce it, but I want to put, I want to save the originals. Oh, it's really windy outside. We have a storm brewing. Maybe I should try making it 7.5 inches instead of 7 inches square. And then, that could give me a 1/2 inch more. So let's try that. Okay, I'm going to leave that on there in case I change my mind. But first I need to go through the other artwork also. So these are all pretty much from the same 2 years that she took night courses at the local high school. And they're all in order. She's very good at organizing herself. And let's see what we have with these others. This is called Portraits and Field Trips. And the desk isn't quite wide enough. So these look like practice sheets. These are soft pencil on pastel paper, it looks like. These look like oil pastels. She was practicing and trying different mediums. Here's some eyes that she drew. See, and a portrait of her father, and a portrait of her mother, a still life of curtains. This is upside down, the Venetian house in Del Rey, California. Venice, California. We lived in southern Los Angeles at the time. Del Rey, California. So lots of pencil sketching here with a soft pencil. This looks again like oil pastels. Venice again. This looks like an old, well, I'm not sure if these are timbers or what. If they're tree timbers or timbers from some old power poles or what. Because they look sort of octagonal. Here's another portrait. Santa Monica, California. Water ski school, Santa Monica, California. Santa Monica, California. So this was, she was trying out a Christmas card design. Things I used to like to draw when I was 10 or 12 years old, she put down there. She used to like to draw every leaf. She used to like to draw Hansel and Gretel type houses. She used to like to draw cliffs. I remember her telling me about that, how she discovered how to make something three-dimensional. So what she's doing is recalling her earlier years, but this is later. Here she's practicing perspective. Here's a still life of the living room of her house. And this is, oh, she's practicing marking off a grid on a photograph and then drawing it on her paper, enlarging it. Copying, it says, class project. This is about 20 or 30 years later than that other album. The Mind Boggler, oh, this was something that was going around when I was a kid. When you look down here, it looks like there's 3 poles, but when you look down here, it looks like a box. So she was drawing that. And here's another Mind Boggler. Here's a portrait. Here's a picture from the cabin that they had up in Northern California that they shared with my aunt and uncle. It had some old appliances in it. Let's see, and this is where the cabin was located. And here's some mailboxes. Here is the cabin. So there was an orange orchard on this property that my dad and my uncle bought after they retired from their jobs, and they would go up there several times a year and work on this orange orchard, and their wives would go with them and help and keep the cabin clean, and Mom would do some drawing. So those are later, so if I have room, those will go in the back of the book. So I'm trying to make things easier for the next generation by consolidating things, as I said, into smaller books. I have a ton of photo albums. So I guess I'll see if I can get these off of here without too much damage. So if you find yourself inheriting a lot of photo albums, or if somebody in your family is artistic and left a lot of artwork, this is a possible solution to keeping at least some of it, at least a representative, so that the next generation can know, especially if the next generation is also interested in photography or art. And they'll say, oh, I got that from Grandma. I got that from Great-Grandma. And then they can show it to their kids, and they could say, this was made by your great-great-grandma. I have to show you this drawing. I don't know if this was a class assignment or what, but if you notice here, there's a painting with a still life. It has a basket. It has bananas and grapes and an apple and a pear. And then down here is the same basket. The grapes are mostly gone. The apple's been eaten. The pear core is here, and the banana peel is there. That's pretty funny. So these images I'm having trouble getting off. They're a little bit brittle. This one already tore a little bit. I think what I'll do is I'll just cut them like this and leave a little black line around them, and then put them on the page that way. And with these others also. All right, let's start with this one. So I'll try each edge. See what makes a good composition. I might as well take this off. It's going to be in my way. Okay, here we go. I'm going to keep that Put that on the page too, where she says first oil. Ah! That didn't go so well. We can fix it. A little bit gentler. Yeah, that's brittle with age. So I'm not going to glue these in yet. I'm just going to place them. I'm going to leave one page for introduction and little biography. And then this could go here. I can glue that back in. And then this little part here. Where she wrote first oil. And I can stick that down there. And these, oh, that is really brittle. Okay, I have to keep the scraps. I might be able to use them for something. Alright, so I think this is going to work. We'll have first oil painting, first pen and ink, and I won't make you sit through me cutting them all, but I'm going to do a few more and then I'll come back and show you how it's progressing. Okay, it's the next day and I had some ideas last night. I'm going to spray these with fixative because the graphite, as you saw earlier, was all over my hands. It's still on my hands. I'm going to spray these with fixative, and then I have a lot of this vintage tracing paper, and I'm going to cut 8-inch pieces, and I have different binding machines. I'm going to see if I can poke some holes and then put a piece of tracing paper between each page so that the graphite doesn't smudge and rub against each other through the years. Okay, so now I have to go in the garage and lay these out in the same order that I want them and not get them mixed up and spray them with fixative. But for you, I'll be right back. Okay, that was a rather fumey thing to do. I opened the garage door, even though it's cold outside. I didn't spray the ink or the painted ones, I just sprayed the pencil ones. So like these, I sprayed these in. So I used Grumbacher's matte workable fixative for pastel, charcoal, and pencil. And I don't know what the longevity is of this stuff. It says non-yellowing. So I guess that's good enough. I've used that for many years on different projects. Okay, I got the cinch wires off. So next I'm going to attach the images to the pages. So I think I'll start with photo corners, and these are actually photo corners that I took out of one of my mom's old albums. It was just a trip she took with her aunt, so there wasn't really... I saved a couple of pictures of the two of them, but the rest was just about the Caribbean and the Panama Canal. So I've got quite a few of those. And I'll attach the photo corners with some art glitter glue because they've been ripped out of a bag. They've been ripped out of an album. So they, oh no, oh dear, that is really brittle. So I think what I'll do is I'll have to glue this one down just on the edges. I think that should be okay. I don't think it's going to have any stress on it. And then she's got this little title that she wrote on here. Just has my first oil, just says first oil and the date. So I think I'll just put that down there. Well, those cover up her writing at the bottom. So, not sure what to do about that. Okay, I'm almost done, but not nearly done. So the rings that I have are a little too small. I don't have any this size. And these are all bent up. So I'll probably need to get some larger rings. But so far, I decided not to put the tissue paper in there because I could not get it to punch evenly and fit between these two different rings without sort of buckling. So this will be a page with introduction to what this book is about. And then I have put in the early artwork of my mother. And I put similar styles and similar images together. I put the picture of the mountain with the picture of the campground. And sometimes these little corners get stuck. So I didn't put corners on everything, and I think I'm going to have to glue those down because they want to come out. So these two pages are both Santa Monica, the same trip, and these are also both Santa Monica, the same trip. And then this is home, and I'll put a note on here somewhere that she did this in home because I remember that lamp and that table. And that's it, but I have a lot of pages left over. So I think I'm going to put this project on hold, and as I go through my mother's photo albums and see if I can find any more sketches or any more artwork that she has. And I've got a lot of pages. So what I'll do is I'll call this finished for now. I will eventually order some bigger rings. And I will work on the story and maybe something for the cover. And then it will come back as a part 2, but don't expect it real soon because this took me all day. But I think I accomplished my main goal, and that was to reduce that large album of artwork that I thought future generations would be interested in seeing. I know there's some artwork preserved from my grandmother and from my great-grandmother, and I'm glad that I have that. So thanks for watching, and have a great day crafting. Bye-bye.